G'day, it's day 2 of the Monaco Grand Prix and I'm surrounded by some of the most amazing super yachts you've ever seen. There's billions of dollars worth here and I'm going to tell you more about them in just a moment. A number of you have asked, what is the biggest boat, private, in this harbour? And I can tell you, it is Lawrence Stroll's Faith. 96 metres long, worth more than $200 million, and on it this weekend are both Lawrence and Lance. In past years though, we've had much bigger boats in here, mainly because they were Russian owned, but there are sanctions now. Those Russian boats, I don't think they're even owned by the Russians. Some of them were claimed. So this is what we got here at the moment. And what does it cost to moor a boat? Well, somebody actually made a comment on one of my YouTube videos that a 40-metre boat would cost $36,000 for the Grand Prix weekend. I went on Loon, which is that one next to that blue big teddy bear. And as you can see, it's got a penis. Should I say that? Now, Loon is a boat that goes all over the world. It is big, and I had a chat with the captain there.
We're probably the 5th or 6th biggest boat in the harbour right now, 45 million euros in value.
Paul's the captain on this boat, and I wanted to know, what does it cost just to berth this thing here?
A rough estimate, it's about $120,000 to $130,000 just to tie up here for the 5 days.
And what sort of people do you see around here?
The drivers, we see Lawrence a lot, team owners, the team managers, basically, the whole cast of Drives to Survive. We actually have Bottas on board with his Oath Gin doing a big event on board, and a bunch of celebrities and people are going to come by for that.
So it doesn't have a big steering wheel, it just has a little, like a joystick here, and some throttles over here, and a very shiny and slippery wooden floor. Anyway, that's a look at Loon. Now, this is a Bugatti on top of a boat next to a thumping nightclub boat over here in the day. But when you're staying on one of these boats at this jetty, you get a glimpse of the track, but you are behind a grandstand or two, and pretty much you're here for the atmosphere on board there, and perhaps just the noise of cars going round will sate your F1 appetite. There are 700 berths in this port, and this is one of 2 ports in Monaco. This is Port Hercule, I think that's how you'd say it in French, or Hercules as we'd say it. There's another one called Fontvieille, and there are a number of restaurants over there. In fact, we've eaten there for the last 2 nights, and we're going there again tonight. But this is where the boats arrive that drop people off for the Red Bull Energy Station. On this side over here, the likes of Mercedes drop their drivers and guests off, and Pierre Gasly also. Oh no, Pierre came via the Red Bull one. I think he was knocked back last year. The boats come and go into this jetty here, and I've got to say that some of them are quite spectacular. Red Bull has a number of beautiful boats. They drop off their drivers and their corporate guests. Mercedes also has a number of nice boats. Williams, struggling a bit. And if you're wondering what the biggest boat they can house here, it's 130 metre long, and there are 110 berths for boats bigger than 24 metres. These boats down here, I imagine they are permanents, and they aren't even interested in the Grand Prix because I've not seen terribly many people on board any of them. Not that you can see much of the track from here anyway. You might remember that yesterday in my video, McLaren's motorhome was not finished. All sorts of dramas, and to a lesser degree, Alpine next door. Well, I can tell you they're nearly finished here now. They worked through the night. They had a huge crane come over the top and lift in the windows on the top level and on the bottom level. And this morning it's just final touches going up. But it's been quite stressful for all these guys, and they've had very little sleep and lots of work to do. And what about Alpine? Well, they were actually up and running probably late afternoon. And I saw Lando Norris's trainer, John Malvin, leaving at about 2:30 p.m. yesterday, and I'm thinking, that's an early day for John. And he said, what am I going to do? We're all jammed into this area above the garage in pit lane. It was pointless staying. If you want to meet a driver, where I'm standing is probably one of your best bets, especially if it is a Red Bull driver, because this is general access. Public can be down here, no problem at all. What we find is that a number of the drivers come from this direction by boat. All of the Red Bull drivers will come in here various times during the day, and because it's a general area, no one can stop you being here. And how do you get here? Well, you'll have to have a look at a map. It's a tricky journey, but one well worth investigating. One of my favourite shots at this track is the cars exiting the Monaco tunnel. I went out there this morning in the first session. We had beautiful bright sunshine, which is necessary, and this is the shot straight out of the camera, and this is after editing. There's not a great deal that's done to these shots. There's a lot of effort involved in getting this circuit ready for a Grand Prix. But it's not just one Grand Prix, because they have an historic race which takes place 2 weeks before this. So all the track is set up well in advance of the F1 race. Now, if you happen to be following me on Instagram, occasionally you see my pictures pop up on Sliddle Guys. They take normal pictures and then they shrink people. And this...
I came to Monaco because I love the race here. You can be really close to everything, like all the action, the drivers, see the tires, and different components. Today I got a Red Bull ticket, so I was inside of their motorhome. That was lovely.
Whoa, how did you get that?
Through a friend. Through a friend, but yeah, it was amazing. I even took a picture with Helmut Marko.
You're good at it.
Thank you.
Right, now with that said, I have no more to say, so I'm going to invite you to have a look at this stuff over here for other content. And in the interim, I'm going to go back in and do some more editing. So thanks for watching.
And stay passionate.
Need to get going soon. It sounds like Porsches are getting out.
Okay. Oh.